Well, welcome everyone from the Big Shave and all my YouTube subscribers. I think it's all 3 of you now. Tonight I'm going to be doing a shave with a razor that is making the rounds through a sort of around the world in 80 shaves item. It is the Parker Twist to Open, the 22R. I will also be using the included Williams soap that was in the package. I've never shaved with this before. I've done a test lather or two. I'm going to go and get my face wet, apply some quick pre-shave. We'll talk briefly about the product as I get ready, and then we'll go ahead and get ready for a shave. This will be a quick 2-pass evening shave. Alright, so while I apply the pre-shave, I recently heard a good joke from our neighbor, wonderful family from Mexico who've lived here for many, many years. And we were talking about plans for the evening, trying to establish a time to meet. And he said, well, Michael, I'm going to tell you about the 3 lies that we tell in Mexico. And I'm going to adapt this joke, and you'll see in a minute, for us involved in wet shaving. So the first lie, apparently, that we tell in Mexico is, I'll be there promptly at 6 o'clock. Because that's never going to happen. The second lie is, I'll pay you back tomorrow. Absolutely. That's lie number 2. Lie number 3 apparently is, I swear. Just the tip. But in the DE world, that third lie is really the following. You're going to save so much money with DE shaving. Yeah, that's really not going to happen. I mean, it's possible that you could save money, and I'm sure people who are disciplined about their purchasing absolutely do. I still haven't seen it actually happen in practice, but that's because I guess most of us who are involved in this tend to get a bit over-involved. All right, here is the Parker 22R Twist to Open gunmetal finish. This is actually a relatively heavy razor. It's just shy of 3 ounces. It is a little bit heavier than the Razor Rock Jaws, if you have that as an example. It is definitely heavier than the Slim Adjustable and taller, and it is certainly about ½ an ounce heavier than something like a standard super speed flare tip. So it's long handled, it's twist to open, it has an interesting gunmetal finish, it has a interesting textured notched handle. I don't know if this is going to be slippery or not, but I'll find out. I think that a previous reviewer did find it slippery and others have found it be quite comfortable to use, so we'll see. I will be pairing that with a HEMA, brand new HEMA blade. I just twist to close. Very standard twist to close, just a standard butterfly head. This is apparently a relatively mild razor, but we'll see. Okay, job number 2 is to attempt to lather the puck of Williams soap, which I hope you can see. I've had this soaking per the instructions for a good 30 minutes. That seems like having to overdo it for a soap that costs so little that you have to prepare for so long before it gets ready to use. But maybe that's just sort of the mystique, the allure of the soap is that it requires some kind of extra special attention. So I'm just loading my Samog 1250 Zabor brush. I'm getting a lot of foamy lather off this. The rules of this pass around are, or at least originally, were that you had to use the Williams soap. I'm going to try to make that work, but if I can't get a good lather with it, I'm going to move on and I'll use the Trumper's Coconut. Alright, I have loaded the brush. You can see that's pretty foamy. Let's see what we get lather-wise. Oh, lather on the shirt, that's a great start. Yeah, it's a little loose, but there we go. That's starting to pull together a little bit. that may look good, but that still feels a little dry. Let's add a little bit of water. This has kind of a light lemony scent. I don't know, for me, it does actually remind me a little bit of the Arcos scent. Not heavily, but a little bit. I would not call this, the perfume of this soap, something delightfully lady killerish. Certainly very utilitarian. Okay. Dean Winters, what do you think? Not too bad? All right, pass number 1. Parker 22R, twist to open, gunmetal finish. This does feel a little slippery, honestly, having not even started to use it yet, but we'll see. Yeah, mild. Definitely can hear a good shaving sound though. Good audible feedback. Well, this may be a heavy razor, but it does not feel heavy in use. That may just be because it's actually well balanced. This seems to go for something like $22 to $25 online. So that's not an expensive razor in the scheme of things. And certainly if you like this kind of finish, definitely a good option. I will say this does feel very mild, but then again, please bear in mind that I've been shaving exclusively with the Razor Rock Jaws, the open comb. That is certainly much more aggressive than this. Yeah, I'm going to say this handle is in fact slippery. This is not giving me a real confident feel. Okay, that's where you can really feel just how mild that razor is compared to something like the Razor Rock Jaws. That was very light. Okay, quick pass number 1. Yeah, that's actually left quite a bit behind. I have about a day and a half, just under 2 days of growth. That's still quite a bit left on there. So let's lather up for round number 2. It's really fun to note, by the way, on the BiG Shave, there's a number of people from Wales. We have some very good friends that live in Aberystwyth. We visited once. Fantastic visit. They live right on that cobblestone beach. Took us out sailing in his boat. Some wonderful meals, fantastic lamb dinner one night. And also, our host took us out, or at least took me on a tour of a number of local drinking establishments in the city. Some very, very small traditional pubs, and then one which is sort of a, I believe a reworked or rebuilt, refurnished church. It's now more like a university student club. There is a university in the city. First pub was great. Nice place. Met some interesting people. Had a nice, wonderful beer. Easy, not too big, not too small. Moved on to the second one, and it's a little bit darker. It's a little bit dimmer. And I, being a bit of an extrovert American, decide that it's going to be a gesture of goodwill. And I announce that I'm prepared to buy a drink for anyone on the dole who happens to be in the bar at that moment. And my friend Brian's head turns slowly towards me, as does every other person in the pub. Turns out that was a 100% success on buying drinks for people in the pub. Not one person working. So, still, good times. It was recommended to me there by the proprietor, who was grateful for the custom, that I should try one of the local ciders. And I, being the adventuresome type, readily agree. Well, apparently cider's not my drink. Took my first sip and have one of those moments where you think, okay, this is a joke. No one's choosing to drink this, right? And my host, Brian, happily chugging his down. Wow, well, okay. I guess I could work my way through this one. Yeah, that was my last cider. Next bar we were back to the beer, so. Alright, I'm going to do just a little bit of minor touch up on the bottom. I think in order to get a really good close shave, is what that would take at least another full against the grain pass and some obvious touch-ups. There's still quite a bit of roughness. I'm going to say this razor is definitely very mild. If you have maybe a lighter beard growth, you're definitely shaving every day. Yeah, you hear that? That's still. I think actually this would be a good choice. Twist to open is easy to manage. They're definitely easy to clean, easy to load with the blade. Yeah. Well, perhaps I've been spoiled by that Razor Rock Jaws. And like I said in a previous video, I am going to be shaving with that basically through the month of January. And then I'm going to move back onto, I think, the Slim Adjustable and the Super Speed, and just try to compare and contrast. I'm really liking that open comb razor quite a bit. Let me just rinse off real quick and we'll just sort of recap where we are. Okay, so for the Williams, that lather has settled down quite a bit. Not quite as airy. It's definitely still a little loose, not quite as thick and creamy, I think, as many of the other soaps, but I can definitely understand why people are using this. This does lather up pretty easily. I didn't have any luck really with my Badger brush. The bore seems to have done pretty well. Like I said, the scent is slightly lemony. It does remind me of Arco a little bit. That's not too bad. That's not too airy. That's certainly less on the foamy side than when it started. So I will take that out, and I will rinse off and dry the soap, prepare it for shipping. Here it is again, the Parker 22R. Just go ahead and open it again. Use the Hema blade, brand new. Those blades are fantastic. I mean, that's clearly a sort of on the cheaper side, no name brand, but it is obviously someone else's blade. Quite nice, quite clean shave on that one. I have done the drawing. I used a randomizer on the web to take the remaining list of names. Sadly, it is not Ant Tightbun Smith, but it is a neighbor of his, as it were, in the UK. The winner is going to be His Hirsute Highness himself, Pasha Bilverdi. So I will package up the materials. I'll put everything back in there. I'll try to include a sort of a keepsake from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, to include in the package. I'll also include in there a list of the remaining or outstanding people, and you can use whatever method you'd like to determine the next random recipient. It seems like it's going to be crossing back and forth between the US and the UK and other sites, and that's just how it goes with Around the World in 80 Shaves. That's really it for me, guys. Thank you all so much. Happy New Year to everyone. Hope all is going well. Enjoy your shaves, and I will be back hopefully next week with another standard shave video and review of some additional products. So thanks all very much. Good luck. Goodbye, and thanks very much to Corey Catalano for getting this started, and good luck to Pasha Bilverdi, who'll be the next recipient. And in closing, let me just say, by the way, it was a real pleasure to meet Zachary Roth in person, who was nice enough to drive into Chapel Hill for a sort of a big shave meetup. Had a chance to sort of drive around the town, get a feel for the location, introduce him to some of the local highlights of the town, and get a feel for what North Carolina is like. And had a chance to buy him some lunch and send him home with a loaf of bread. So I think that ended it pretty well for everybody. Well, that's it for me, everybody. Good luck, good night, and again, Happy New Year.